चलो ठीक है. इट्स गुड दैट यू ट्राइड. सबने सीख लिया थोड़ा. ऐसा कोई मुश्किल सवाल तो नहीं था लेकिन. So we are live now. We have discussed the first chapter. Now very important topic, federalism. Chapter number 2. Any question, anyone? This is class 10th. We have done chapter number 1. We are doing chapter number 2. Federalism. Now by now we understand federalism, right? All of you understand what federalism is. Anybody? What's the definition of federalism? What's the definition of federalism? Yes, Altaf, perfect. Existence of more than one tier of government. Existence of more than one tier of government. So is it like all the governments in the world follow this model? We'll see. The answer is no. Only 25%, 25 countries in the world follow this. Out of 193, only 25 countries. But 40% of the world population does this. So one of the common features that you will find, all the large countries in the world are federations. If a country is big enough, they do not have any choice. They have to be a federal polity. Now, why some of the features of federalism? There are 2 or more levels of government, different tiers of government, but different tiers of government govern the same citizen. They have their own jurisdictions. We have discussed this. Jurisdictions of respective levels. डरा दिया तुमने. कौन थे? सोनाली का कुत्ता भौंकने लगा. एक दिन क्लास में क्या हुआ? We were taking sociology class. So sociology class happens very late in the night. That was the first batch of sociology, and student. So sociology में बहुत छोटा batch होता है, 20-25 at max. So I allow everyone to keep their mics on and to unmute as and when they want to ask any question. So a student joined, and at the very moment, it's like a little late, 10:30 around, and her cat अचानक से माइक ऑन, उसकी बिल्ली इतनी जोर से आवाज करती है. इधर क्या हुआ? तो आज सोनाली का कुत्ता आया. चलो ठीक है. The jurisdiction of respective levels and tiers of government are specified in the constitution. The constitution बताता है कि किसका क्या jurisdiction होगा. Jurisdiction, if you do not understand jurisdiction, the area over which someone has legal authority. जहां तक like state has its own jurisdiction, तो जहां तक state अपना rule implement कर सकता है. सेंटर का jurisdiction, सेंटर जहां तक अपना law implement कर सकता है. So this jurisdiction can be defined in terms of geographical boundaries or in kind of certain subjects. ये बहुत समझना जरूरी है. So one jurisdiction can be like when you will become DM of a district. So your jurisdiction will be limited to the physical boundary of your district. दूसरे district में जाओगे तो you are an ordinary person. Similarly, even in your district, your jurisdiction is limited. If you are an SP of the city, your jurisdiction is within the borders of your district, but you are limited just to do the task of policing. You cannot go to judiciary and ask कि भाई ये वाला law बना दो, or you cannot take start building or constructing roads or issuing tenders. That's not your jurisdiction. तो jurisdiction दो तरीके के हैं, physical, geographical और subject wise. तो ऐसे ही Constitution has defined different jurisdictions for federalism. Fundamental provision of the Constitution cannot be unilaterally changed. This is also we read कि game नहीं बदलना चाहिए. Sorry, I am audible to all. Some problem happened with internet. I think I'm connected to my hotspot from the phone. I don't know how long it will last, but please cooperate. Yeah, what I was telling, the fundamental provisions of the Constitution cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of government. So if you want to make any change into the distribution of the power, that has to be done by the corporation of both center and state. The fifth क्या बोल रहा है? Courts have the power to interpret the constitution and power of the different levels of the government. So in a federal polity, if there is any conflict between the center and the state about the distribution of the power, that should be settled by the court, not by the center. ऐसा नहीं कि center बोले कि नहीं नहीं यही सही है. That powers should be settled by, that dispute should be settled by the court. Sixth क्या कह रहे हैं? The source of revenue of each level of the government are clearly specified. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि state should be dependent fully on center for their finances. If they will be fully dependent on the center for the finances, that freedom is of no use. कुछ भी करेगा तो सेंटर बोलेगा कि भाई ये करो तभी हम तुमको पैसा देंगे. तो दोनों का अलग अलग सोर्स होना चाहिए इनकम का. फाइनेंशियल ऑटोनॉमी इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ फेडरलिज्म. So after implementation of GST, what do you think? It has increased our federalism or reduced our federalism? Goods and services tax. फेडरलिज्म इंक्रीज हो गया या फेडरलिज्म डिक्रीज हो गया? रिड्यूस्ड हो गया, क्योंकि जीएसटी क्या बोलता है कि ऑल द टैक्सेस will be collected by the center. It gives center a lot of power on taxation methods. So कुछ critiques of GST, they say that even when Prime Minister Modi was in state government in Gujarat, he said that GST is against federalism. Although there are some provisions there to give some power to the states as well, लेकिन कह सकते हैं कि जीएसटी के चलते फेडरलिज्म कम हो रहा है बिकॉज स्टेट की ऑटोनॉमी कम हो रही है. फिफ्थ और सेवेंथ फीचर इज द फेडरल सिस्टम thus have dual objectives. ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? दो. पहला, to safeguard and promote the unity of the country. Why we need federalism? Because when different people will have the power to take decisions, they feel themselves involved in the overall decision making. तो इससे यूनिटी बरकरार रहती है. एंड फाइनली क्या कह रहा है? An ideal federal system has both aspects: mutual trust and agreement to live together. We trust each other, we trust other states, other governments, and we try to live with each other. Rabindranath Tagore का एक quote याद आ रहा है. I was reading it yesterday only. I will share with you. So Tagore said that the challenge in the modern times is not to create a uniformity. The challenge is to live peacefully with all the differences. And that's what federalism does for us. It gives us an opportunity to live peacefully with all the differences. Now, coming to other federalism, दो तरीके के federalism है, important है. There are two types of federalism. One is coming together federalism, and second one is holding together federalism. See what happened in USA. Before USA became USA, it was different states, different countries, ऐसा समझो, independent countries type के थे वहां पे. So there were 13 different states, completely different rule, different method, different constitution. Wait for a second. where I was. So coming together and holding together federalism. So in USA, if you will read about American history, there were these 13 different states. And during American independence struggle, these 13 states come together and they decided that we will create a country. तो डिफरेंट स्टेट्स जब एक साथ आकर कंट्री बनाते हैं इसको बोलते हैं कमिंग टुगेदर फेडरलिज्म. नाउ इन सच अ सिनेरियो व्हाट विल हैपन? ऑल द कंट्रीज विल आस्क फॉर इक्वल राइट्स, राइट? क्योंकि ये सब अपने आप में अलग अलग कंट्रीज हैं, तो nobody will want to have a lower power than anyone else, and they will want to have more power than center. ये अपना बहुत पावर छोड़ना नहीं चाहते हैं, बस काम के लिए एक जगह आ रहे हैं. So in USA we will see that states have a lot of power. They are more powerful than center. There are a lot of differences from one state to another state. So in one state abortion is not allowed, in other state it's allowed. In one state marijuana is allowed, in other state marijuana is not allowed, and such kind of disparities are common in USA. The other type of federalism is Indian federalism, which is holding together federalism. What happened with us? We were a divided state at the time of independence, but in our country the center decided to divide the power between the constituent states and the national government. हमारा एक पूरा कंट्री था और हमने कहा कि भाई सेंटर विल बी स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड इट विल गिव सम पावर टू डिफरेंट स्टेट्स. सो center is trying to hold all these different countries together. This is our model. So in such systems, you will see that constituent units of the federation have unequal powers. So we see that Jammu and Kashmir once upon a time has different power. Even today, northeastern states have many different provisions for them. We see the existence of special special states or special category states, which has different powers. We have union territories. So different states has different kind of unequal powers. This is holding together federalism. Now India का structure देखते हैं. In our country, constitution has divided the power between the center and state, but our constitution do not use the word federation anywhere. Although we are a federal state, but constitution में कहीं भी federalism या federation word use नहीं है. India is called as Union of India. So there is a difference between union and federation. Federation में states will come together. In union, center has folded together different states. Now constitution ने सबको अपना अपना power दिया है. What are the things that union can do? The things that state can do. So there are three lists: union list, state list, and the third one is concurrent list. So union list क्या कहता है? The union list alone can make laws relating to the subjects mentioned in the union list. The subjects like defense, foreign affairs, banking, communication, and currency. And you see, these issues are very important, and you need to have a uniformity about these issues. Let's suppose if all the states start printing their own currency, or all the states have their own foreign relationship with different countries, it will create a lot of confusion. So wherever we need a uniform policy, all those rules are put under union list. Then there is state list. Issues like police, trade, commerce, agriculture, and irrigation. These things vary from one place to another place. At one place, you need different kind of agricultural practices. Another state, you need different kind of agricultural practice. Policing, because the culture of the places changes, you need different kind of policing methods. Similarly, trade and commerce. So these are the issues of local importance. Now, in NCRT, although the page number is okay from page 16 to it comes to page 17, but in between they have missed a lot of information. क्या मिस कर दिया है इन्होंने? एक कंकरेंट लिस्ट का पूरा एक पैराग्राफ ही मिस कर दिया है. So there is a list called concurrent list. In the concurrent list, we have subjects like forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption, and succession. In these issues, both union and state government can make law. ठीक है? In issues पे both union and state government can make law. Recently, we are seeing that a lot of news is there about NEET exam in Tamil Nadu. Now, NEET exam is as education. This falls under category of concurrent list. So center has already made a law on that. Tamil Nadu is saying because it's in the concurrent list, we can also make laws. So they want to make laws on this. Health comes under state list. लक्ष्मीकांत पे देखोगे एक पूरा लिस्ट है वैधे, and you should try to at least, if you cannot remember it word by word, but try to have a general idea. ठीक है? क्या कह रहे थे? Where we were. There are some units of the Indian Union which enjoy very little. Achha nahi, yeah. So concurrent list. Tamil Nadu is saying that they can make laws on the NEET issue as well. So a lot of confusion is going on and उसको discuss करेंगे कभी आराम से. So these are the three things: union list, state list, and concurrent list. Now, there is one more subject which is residuary subjects. Residuary subjects are basically the subjects which were not there when the constitution was made. Like constitution makers do not had any idea that there will be computers after 60 years and they will be needing an IT act. So such things which may come in the future, they are kept in our country, they are kept under residuary subjects. And these residuary subjects are under union government. So whatever new things will come, union government will make law on that. What do you think? In USA, who has the residuary power, state or center? Guess. यूएसए में किसके पास रेसिडुअरी पावर होगा? वहां पे स्टेट के पास होगा, बिकॉज स्टेट्स आर मोर पावरफुल देयर. They want to remain, they want to keep their power. So when they make this contract, okay, we will come together and make laws. So they wanted to hold off power to anything which is coming in the future. जैसे तुम चार दोस्त अगर मिलके कोई टीम बनाते हो तो तुम ऐसा बोलोगे ना कि भाई फ्यूचर में जो भी आएगा वो मैं अपना देखूंगा, तुम अपना देखना, बिकॉज यू डोंट वांट टू लूज योर पावर्स इन द फ्यूचर. So in the state, this happened. So in United States, states have residuary power. In any federal polity, you will see that states will have residuary power. In Indian feature, because we are not completely federal, the power is slightly tilted towards central government. Then we see that because we are holding together form of the government, we have special powers given to these states under Article 371. We also have some special states like union territories. Where union territories में क्या होता है? Here all the laws will be made by the union government. Now, how is federalism practiced? When initially we were like this in 1947, India was like this: Central India, central provinces, Hyderabad, Mysore, Odisha, Bihar, united provinces. There was no states as we see today. So the first question was कि how to create states, how to divide states. So initially what happened, that the constitution makers were of the opinion that we should not divide states on the basis of language, because they thought if we'll decide states on the basis of language, this will dampen the spirit of unity. लोग यूनाइटेड नहीं फील करेंगे, एक तरह के लोग एक जगह रहने लगेंगे. तो उसने अच्छा सोचा कि वी विल क्रिएट अ स्टेट वेयर डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ पीपल विल बी लिविंग, दे विल लर्न द लैंग्वेज एंड द प्रैक्टिसेस ऑफ ईच अदर. तो ऐसा सोच के दे created non-linguistic states. But then a lot of protests started to happen, and states started demanding that we should be given our state based upon language. And slowly we saw that with Hyderabad was the first state to get its recognition as on the linguistic basis. स्लोली फिर मराठियों के लिए महाराष्ट्र, गुजरातियों के लिए गुजरात और पंजाबियों के लिए पंजाब, ऐसा डिवीजन होना शुरू हो गया. Now there are two sides of the story, whether it is good or bad, और अक्सर ये क्वेश्चन आता है. फर्स्ट तो ये स्टेट बन गया, चलो काम खत्म. लेकिन लैंग्वेज पॉलिसी, इंडिया इज सच अ डाइवर्स कंट्री, विच लैंग्वेज शुड बी यूज. नाउ दोज फ्रॉम नॉर्थ इंडिया, दे वुड बी लाइक हिंदी हमारी मातृभाषा है एंड हिंदी शुड बी imposed on everyone and everybody should learn Hindi. But in that time, a great resistance come from the South Indians, because they said that if Hindi will become made compulsory, the people from the South India will be forced to learn a new language. Let's suppose there are two students, one from Tamil Nadu and one from UP. Both has to prepare for UPSC, and UPSC has only one language, that is Hindi. Who will have fair chances to become a DM or a secretary later? कौन आसानी से बन सकता है? Who will qualify the exam? UP वाला. So South Indian people started protesting against mandatory imposition of Hindi, and that's why we come up with the idea of three language policy. A language policy has always been very controversial. In our country, Hindi is the mother tongue of only 40% of the Indians. So 60% people do not know Hindi. Imposing Hindi would be very unfair to those people. So what we do, we recognize 22 languages at scheduled language. इंडिया ने 22 languages को scheduled language माना, and it said that any government exams would be conducted in all these 22 languages. All are equal. Unlike what Sri Lanka did, they said that only their Sinhala language should be spoken by everyone. They banned every other language. Now, many critics think that this solution favored the English speaking elites. तो गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में एक प्रोविजन है प्रमोशन ऑफ हिंदी continues to be official policy of government of India. It says that ultimately government should try to create one language, and that should be Hindi. So Hindi का प्रचार करना गवर्नमेंट का एक मेन इनिशिएटिव है, या एक समझो गवर्नमेंट का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ड्यूटी है. वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट दिस इन डिटेल लेटर. वेरी controversial issue. Now about center state relationship, you will see that till 1990s in our country states were very weak. Central government used to suspend state governments like anything. वहां इलेक्शन हुआ, सेंटर को पसंद नहीं है, they will impose presidential rule in all the states, and this was done by the Congress, and it was done by other governments as well. But after 1990, what happened? Coalition government started to come into the picture, and because of this coalition governments, as we were discussing in the previous class, now the small regional parties started to get say in the larger decision makings. Now central government could not ignore the wishes of Northeast, because Northeast has 5 MPs or 6 MPs coming from there. Central government cannot ignore Tamil Nadu, because a regional party from Tamil Nadu is also taking part here. So because of this, एक पूरा जो coalition government हुआ, it acted in the favor of federalism, and it gave a lot of autonomy and respect to the state governments. So this was the solution. This was the situation during Indira Gandhi government, where every state is lined up to get the power. Later we'll see that Atal Bihari Vajpayee found the coalition government, and he was sitting on the bomb. Like anybody can catch the fire and government palat sakta tha, but he handled this very well. So this is the state. Finally, decentralization in India. Now decentralization is very crucial step. When power is taken away from the center and state, ये definition याद रखना. When power is taken away from the center and state and given to the local government, it's called decentralization. A special form of federalism is decentralization, where power is taken from both center and state. दोनों से power लेके और local government यानी पंचायती राज को दे देना, इसको decentralization बोलते हैं. Gandhi has written in his many books, and if he would have been there, his idea was to create self-sufficient local governments. Gandhi didn't wanted grand union parties and big parties. Even at the time of independence, he said, when it was sure that we were about to achieve independence, he said, now Congress has served its purpose. Now we should focus on local governments. So this is a way in that direction, where you give more power to the local people to decide their affairs. This helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. People start understanding what democracy really means. But we will read about this in detail. हमारे 11th क्लास में फिर एक चैप्टर है. But we will see that initially this faced a lot of problem because nobody, neither center nor state, was willing to give it power to Panchayati Raj. So ultimately, after a long battle in 1990, a constitution was amended, and under 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts, 1990 एग्जैक्ट डेट नहीं है, 90s में है. सो इन 73 74 अल्टीमेटली पंचायती राज वर गिवन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल स्टेटस कि सारे स्टेट्स को पावर देना ही पड़ेगा. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली दे वर मैंडेटेड in 1992. So there are many provisions about this. तुम लोग हमने बहुत सारा डिस्कस भी किया है, यू नो कि क्या होता है. इन द वेरी फर्स्ट फ्यू क्लासेस वी हैव डिस्कस. एक बार पढ़ना इसको. एक ये अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. सी, प्राइम मिनिस्टर रन्स द कंट्री, चीफ मिनिस्टर रन्स द स्टेट. लॉजिकली द जिला or the district should be run by the Jila Parishad, the chairman of the Jila Parishad, the mayor, right? But the district is run by DM or the collector. इसलिए DM and DM collector का पोस्ट इतना मजेदार है भी. So the DM and collector, he runs the state. Sorry, he runs the district. Although mayors are the elected head. In many states, changes has been made to give more power to the mayors and less power to DMs. But still, in majority of the states, DMs are given more power. So this is about federalism. I promise you that I will be telling about top 3 speeches of all time. 3 speech hai. One is Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg speech. I hope all of you know about this. कौन सा speech है लिंकन का, गेटिसबर्ग का speech? पता है? नहीं. Democracy for the people, by the people, of the people shall not perish from the face of the earth. Abraham Lincoln said in Gettysburg. This was the time when civil war was happening between US. In US civil war चल रहा था, north and south. I hope you have a little idea about civil war. We have discussed also. So northern people, people from northern USA wanted to abolish slavery of black people. Southern people were in favor of slavery. So a civil war broke out between north and south. उस टाइम पे अब्राहम लिंकन ने स्पीच दिया that to motivate the soldiers that government by the people, for the people, of the people shall not perish from the face of the earth. Then the second speech is from Martin Luther King Jr. The speech is I have a dream. I think we have discussed about this as well. I have a dream. Very popular. And I hope you know Martin Luther King Jr. के बारे में आइडिया होगा तुम लोगों को. So in again 1850s 60s में he is someone who is fighting for रोजा पार्क्स वाली जो स्टोरी वगैरह हमने सुनी उस टाइम में he is fighting again for their rights. So Martin Luther King 1850s 60s, sorry, 90s में. Uh, then the third speech, which is considered as all-time best, is Barack Obama's speech, "Yes, we can." During his presidential campaigns, he made the speech, "Yes, we can." Now, one of the common feature of all these three speeches, why they are considered as all-time best speeches, all these three speeches top, like all of you need to be a good speaker at some point of time, or speech dena padega to learn this art, very effective art, rhetoric. All these speeches talked about something much larger than the issue that they were addressing. देखो, Abraham Lincoln is just fighting the war is just for war between blacks and whites. He could have said कि जाओ भाई देश के लिए लड़ो या blacks rights के लिए लड़ो, but he made that issue much bigger than what it was actually. तो कहते हैं कि भाई अगर तुम चाहते हो कि डेमोक्रेसी अर्थ पे कहीं भी सस्टेन करे, सो दिस इज वेयर यू हैव टू फाइट, अदरवाइज the democracy will perish from the face of the earth. It's not just about black rights you are fighting for, you are fighting for democracy. Martin Luther King is doing the same. It's not just saying कि blacks or whites, if you will hear the speech, you should go and read this. I have a dream. तो मैं कहते हैं कि it's not about black rights, it's talking about the freedom of all, the peaceful existence of everyone. He talks about the things that USA as a country can achieve if everybody will be free and they can realize their true potential. And the same thing is being done by Obama when he said, "Yes, we can." It's not saying कि हम whites से right ले लेंगे या पहली बार black person को तुम president बना दो. He's also saying कि as an America we can rise back again and we can achieve greatness. एक और स्पीच है विंस्टन चर्चिल का that needs to be mentioned here is, "We shall never surrender." So this is a fight going on between Germany and Britain, and at that time Britain is kind of losing this war. Their soldiers are surrounded, और वहां पे चर्चिल आके स्पीच देता है कि we will fight in the trenches, we will fight on the beaches, we will fight in the house and on the streets, we will fight wherever we are, we will find in the mind and the hearts, and no matter what we will never surrender. तो वो भी एक बहुत अपलिफ्टिंग, मतलब these are the speeches which are considered as, तो इसलिए नहीं कि बहुत अच्छे से बोला गया, but they change the direction of the history. एक एक स्पीच ने इतना बड़ा एक इम्पैक्टफुल स्पीचेस कह सकते हैं कि जिन्होंने बड़ा डिफरेंस क्रिएट किया, इसलिए नहीं कि वो बहुत अच्छे स्पीकर थे. तो of course they were great speakers, but it's not because they were just great speakers. These speeches made great impact. So the chapter is democracy and diversity. Now, why I'm telling you all this? Because in UPSC, in my DAF, डिटेल एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म भरना होता है इंटरव्यू से पहले. So I have written public speaking as one of my hobbies or co-curricular activities. So this is something that I prepared while doing that, because I was actually asked कौन अच्छा है speech, who do you like as a speaker. So these are some of the things from there. Do or die can also be included in the same Gandhi ji ka speech. So we have read about these. Civil rights movement in United States. ये कौन है अभी आके गुड आफ्टरनून कर रहा है? यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स. A civil rights movement in United States, which started during 1954 to 1968, refers to a set of events and reforms movement aimed at abolishing the legal discrimination against American African Americans, led by Martin Luther King Jr. He was a kind of disciple of Gandhi, tried to learn from him a lot, and led a non-violent civil disobedience movement that sorry, I'm audible. नेटवर्क आज परेशान कर रहा है. या सो इससे आगे बढ़ते हैं. Differences, similarities, and division. Now we know that there are similar social differences. See, social differences are very common to have, right? People have different physical abilities and disabilities. People will have different colors, race. So, social difference is something which cannot be eliminated. But social differences should not lead to social division. बहुत अच्छा concept है and you should learn this. You should learn this art of articulation. Social differences should not lead to social division. Differences will be there will be rich and poor, there will be black and whites, there will be beautiful people and ugly people, there will be short and long, there will be strong and weak, there will be male and female. But the social differences should not lead to social division. Social differences divide similar people from one another, but they also unite different people. सोशल डिफरेंसेस के चलते यूनिटी भी आती है, जैसे कि people following same religion. Now you see, Hindu whether he is in Bihar or he is in UP or in Tamil Nadu, can feel united. Social differences can create unity. Muslims anywhere in the world feel united because social differences, women, rich or poor, black and white, can feel united. So, social differences can also lead to unification. It's possible for the people of different religions to have same caste and feel close to each other. जैसे कि हम, if you are following the Punjab elections, Punjab has a high ratio of scheduled castes. Now in Punjab, scheduled castes come from different backgrounds. Some scheduled castes are Sikhs, some scheduled castes are from Hindu community, some are from Muslim community. So people of different religions having same caste identity, they are united by this social difference. But this social differences become social, बहुत ही important idea है. If you can understand and appreciate this, social division take place when some differences overlap with each with other difference. अपने आप में मैं तुमसे अलग हूं, I am a male and you are a female, that's not going to create any rift between us. I am a Hindu, you are a Muslim, just not going to create a rift, a division between us. ये डिवीजन कम होता है जब हमारे डिफरेंसेस ओवरलैप विथ अदर डिफरेंसेस. जैसे कि हिंदूज आर रिच एंड मुस्लिम्स आर पुअर. अगर ऐसा हो जाए, मतलब एक डिफरेंस तो ऑलरेडी है, एंड व्हेन द सेकंड डिफरेंस merges with this difference, it lead to the creation of social division. जैसे कि देखते हैं, difference between black and whites become a social division in US because blacks tend to be poor, homeless and discriminated against. Dalits tend to be poor and landless. देखो, सिर्फ दो कास्ट में, let's imagine in India, Dalits are equally educated. Dalits, if Dalits would have been equally educated or equally rich, तो क्या दलित्स और नॉन दलित्स में झगड़ा होता, फाइट होता क्या? नहीं होता. राइट. द डिफरेंस हैज बीन अकर्ड बिकॉज कास्ट के साथ साथ और भी दूसरे डिफरेंसेस इमर्ज होते हैं. जैसे कि आईएएस, वंस यू ज्वाइन द आईएएस, ऑल ऑफ योर इंटरेस्ट्स विल बी यूनाइटेड. तो उसमें कौन किस कास्ट से आ रहा है, नोबडी केयर्स. द ओनली थिंग इज दैट यू, everybody wants to protect that IAS as a cadre should have power. तो आपका एक कॉमन इंटरेस्ट हो गया. बहुत अच्छा दो एग्जांपल दिया है नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड एंड नीदरलैंड का. देखो नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड में क्या होता है, देयर आर टू डिवीजन ऑफ क्रिश्चियनिटी, Catholics and Protestants. Both are Christians. Two divisions. अब Catholics in Netherlands, class and religion overlap with each other. Netherlands बोल रहा हूँ. In Northern Ireland, class and religion overlap with each other. What does this mean? कि जो कैथोलिक लोग हैं, they are more likely to be poor and Protestants are rich. But in Netherlands, class and religion tend to cut across each other. यहाँ पे ओवरलैप हो रहा है दोनों, और यहाँ पे कट अक्रॉस each other. मतलब in Netherlands, if you go, you will find some Catholics are equally rich, and some are also poor also. Some Protestants are also rich, some are poor also. So there is no bifurcation between rich and poor based upon their sect. Because of this overlap, in Netherlands we'll see that Catholics and Protestants are in conflict with each other. These overlapping social differences create possibility of deep social division and tension. देखेंगे हम कि in Netherlands they live a peaceful life, but in Northern Ireland they fought a very bloody war. It was one of the bloodiest war. We think कि सब टेररिज्म वगैरह तो इंडिया में होता है या थर्ड वर्ल्ड डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज में होता है. Till 2000, England was facing or Netherlands was facing a lot of bloody war with England. देखते हैं क्या होता है उसमें. But even those countries such as Germany, Sweden, that are once highly homogeneous are undergoing a rapid mix with influx of people. So social division exists in almost all countries. Even in the countries, even the countries once who were very homogeneous, only one kind of people were living in those countries. Because of the migration, they are also becoming multi-diverse, multicultural, and the conflict is very much possible there. देखो एक नॉर्मल सा हम लोग ये पढ़ते हैं या यू हैव रेड कि डू नॉट मिक्स कास्ट और रिलीजन विथ पॉलिटिक्स. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू अग्री विद दिस आइडिया दैट वी शुड नॉट मिक्स कास्ट एंड रिलीजन विथ पॉलिटिक्स? कितने लोगों को लगता है कि कास्ट एंड रिलीजन पॉलिटिक्स से नहीं मिक्स होना चाहिए? So wait for the end of this class and then again I will ask you the same question. I hope your answers will be changed by then. NCERT says that at first sight it would appear that combination of politics and social division is very dangerous and explosive. पहले पहले देख के तो लगता है कि भाई पॉलिटिक्स और सोशल डिवीजन मिल जाता है तो बहुत खतरनाक कॉम्बिनेशन मिलता है. बट इज इट ट्रू? Let's discuss about Netherlands in a little bit more detail. The region of United Kingdom has been for many years the site of violent and bitter ethnic conflict. यहाँ पे क्या है? If you know the map, अच्छा ये पहले जान लो where is Netherlands. There's a difference between UK, England, Britain. पता है सबको? What is the difference between the three things? United Kingdom is basically a mixture of 4 countries. कौन कौन सी? इंग्लैंड, वेल्स एंड स्कॉटलैंड एंड नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड. ये चारों मिलके यूनाइटेड किंगडम बनता है. इंग्लैंड इज जस्ट वन कंट्री, द सेंट्रल part of this. Britain is इंग्लैंड प्लस स्कॉटलैंड प्लस वेल्स. ये तीनों को मिला के ब्रिटेन बोलते हैं. ठीक है? तो डू नॉट यूज दिस टर्म्स इंटरचेंजेबली कि यूके क्या है, ब्रिटेन क्या है या इंग्लैंड क्या है. इट मीन्स डिफरेंट थिंग्स. सो नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड एक टाइम में पार्ट हुआ करता था और अभी भी पार्ट है यूनाइटेड किंगडम का. इफ यू विल सी द मैप, दिस इज ब्रिटेन and here you have another island. The top part of this island is called Northern Ireland, which is a part of United Kingdom, and this is Southern Ireland or known as Ireland, which is a independent country. सो यहाँ क्या होता था, ये 53% प्रोटेस्टेंट्स थे एंड 44% कैथोलिक्स थे नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड में. 53% प्रोटेस्टेंट, 44% कैथोलिक्स. Catholics were represented by national parties who demanded that Northern Ireland be unified with the Republic of Ireland. ये कैथोलिक्स क्या बोलते थे, that they should be they should get independence from the United Kingdom and merge they should be merged with Ireland. जैसे हमारे यहाँ कश्मीर वाले लोग बोलते हैं, कुछ लोग, not all, separatists, that Kashmir should be separated from India. So वैसे ही ये आयरलैंड वाले बोलते हैं कि आयरलैंड, नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड should be separated from this. Now Ireland is a Catholic country. तो जैसे कश्मीर वालों को लगता है कि दे, और सेपरेटिस्ट को लगता है कि दे कैन गो विथ पाकिस्तान बिकॉज पाकिस्तान is a Muslim majority country. Similarly, these Northern Ireland Catholics used to think that they should be merged with Ireland, which is mainly Catholic. Protestants जो थे, they were represented by unionists, यूनियन के साथ रहने वाले. तो ये क्या कहते थे, who was rich? Protestants were rich. So rich will not try to separate because they were getting all the benefits. So they were in the favor of remain with UK, which is predominantly Protestant also. So UK Protestant था, तो यहाँ का Protestant UK के साथ रहना चाहते थे, यहाँ वाले आयरलैंड के साथ. And because of this violent civilian militant security forces का वॉर होता था आपस में, दोनों कैथलिक एंड प्रोटेस्टेंट्स लड़ते रहते थे. And a lot of forces died. Only in 1998, UK government and the nationalists. Who were the nationalists? Nationalists किधर जाना चाह रहे थे? Nationalists किधर जाना चाहते थे, बताओ थोड़ा. Which country nationalists wanted to join, UK or Ireland? Nationalists were Catholics. Catholics किधर जाना चाह रहे थे? आयरलैंड में. और प्रोटेस्टेंट्स कौन थे? यूनियनिस्ट. और यूनियनिस्ट जाना चाहते थे यूके के साथ. सो पीस ट्रीटी वाज रीच्ड विथ द नेशनलिस्ट. यूके के गवर्नमेंट ने भाई यूनियनिस्ट के साथ बात किया, पीस ट्रीटी साइन की, और तब से अभी आर्म स्ट्रगल कम से कम खत्म हो गया है. Similarly, in Yugoslavia do not had this happy ending. Their political competition along the religious lines led to the division of country into 6 independent states or 6 independent countries. Now, 3 determinants. We'll see that social division affect the voting of the countries. It's very natural. Muslims will vote for a party that they favor. Hindus will vote for a party that they favor. Or even on the caste line, people vote for their own parties. But this does not need to lead to disintegration of the country. So जरूरी नहीं है कि country divide हो जाए. There are 3 crucial factors that decide the outcome of the politics of social division. Politics of social division, बहुत important keyword है. Politics of social division. Many people do this politics of social division, and it's not bad, necessarily bad. इसका अच्छा या बुरा impact होगा, that will be decided by 3 determinants. What are these determinants? First of all, The outcome depends upon how people perceive their identities. देखो, in our country, we say कि first we are Indians, that's my identity, or first we are Hindus or we are Muslims. If people will perceive their identity first as their religion or as their caste, if the people see their identities in singular and exclusive terms कि मैं तो बस हिंदू हूं, ऐसा एक्सक्लूसिव टर्म में अगर कोई सोचने लगे, या तो मैं तो बस मुस्लिम हूं, that would lead to deeper conflicts. But actually, we do not have singular and exclusive identities. If I ask you ki who you are, can you take an exclusive tag? All of us, all of us are Indians. We are like, I am a Bihari, I am a Hindu, I am belong to certain caste, I am a male, I am a UPSC aspirant, and all these, I am a youth. अभी तक फिलहाल कुछ सालों और. So all these things are my identities. I cannot just say कि this is my one identity or this is my one single identity. And when people think of themselves in different identities, they become accommodative. But if they see themselves in singular and exclusive term, it becomes very difficult to accommodate. As long as people in Northern Ireland saw themselves only as Catholic and Protestant, their differences were difficult to reconcile. जब तक इनको लगता था कि भाई मैं कैथोलिक हूं और कैथोलिक्स के साथ जाऊंगा, जिनको लगता था प्रोटेस्टेंट, आई विल गो विद प्रोटेस्टेंट, the fight could not have been ended. But if people have multiple identities, like in Belgium people, they are as much Belgian as they are Dutch or German speaking. They do not necessarily think of themselves only as Dutch or a German. दूसरा रीजन क्या है? It depends upon how political leaders raise the demand of any community. देखो, politics of social division is very important. Think about the case of Sri Lanka. Do you think what is happening with them, with the Tamil people, it is good? Do they deserve such crossing of their language and culture? नहीं ना, उनके साथ तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. And to fight against this, you need a political union. So here politics of social division is very much necessity. You cannot say कि नहीं नहीं हम भाई नहीं fight करेंगे politically. Politicization of the social division is very much necessity. But it depends upon how political leaders raise the demand of any community. Sometimes political leaders raise their demand at the cost of other community. We can grow only when that community will not get their due share. Such kind of demands should not be raised. And the third is, it depends upon how government reacts to the demand of different groups. If the government is accommodative, like in Belgium, the politics of social division will lead to justice, will lead to more empowerment of people. But if government tries to suppress that social division, that will be a threat for the country itself. So in a democracy, political expression of social division is very normal and can be healthy. Politics में ये issue raise करना normal है और healthy है. It allows various disadvantaged and marginal groups to express their grievances. पॉलिटिक्स ऑफन रिजल्ट इन देयर सोशल डिवीजन का जो पॉलिटिक्स है, रिजल्ट इन, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, रिजल्ट इन देयर कैंसिलिंग वन अनदर आउट, thus reducing their intensity. पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ सोशल डिवीजन चल रहा है. ऑन वन हैंड कर्नाटका में पीपल आर फाइटिंग टू गेट रिस्पेक्टफुल पोजीशन फॉर कर्नाटक कन्नडिगास. एक मूवमेंट अलग चल रहा है, कन्नडिगास, हमको अपना फ्लैग चाहिए, हमको अपना नेशनल एंथम चाहिए और अपना स्टेट एंथम चाहिए. And another politics is going off for of religion. Now there is another politics that is going off caste. Because of these different expressions, one boy is now in conflict कि वो दलित वाले मूवमेंट में पार्टिसिपेट करे या एज अ हिंदू वो कम्युनल मूवमेंट में पार्टिसिपेट करे, और एज अ कन्नडिगा ही शुड पार्टिसिपेट इन द कन्नड़ मूवमेंट, or as an Indian, he should be thinking about going to border and fighting. So expression of these different social divisions reduce the intensity of each other. This leads to a strengthening of a democracy. You read this. Next chapter में थोड़ा सा और तुम लोगों को थोड़ा और मैं इस तरफ लेके चलता हूँ, and then I will ask you again that do you think that politics of this is politics of religion and caste is good or bad? I think you have already started changing your mind slightly. ये वाला पैराग्राफ ना यूपीएससी ने सीधा सीधा यूपीएससी के हिस्से में पूछा था पिछले साल. This is a gender division is a form of hierarchical social division seen everywhere but is rarely recognized. ये स्टेटमेंट था पूरा. दिखा होता हूं तुम लोगों को. किसी ने देखा था क्वेश्चन? किसी ने देखा है पिछले साल का ऐसे का क्वेश्चन? क्वेश्चन says कि patriarchy is a form of hierarchical social division seen everywhere but rarely recognized. So that's the importance of reading NCERT. Anyway, so we have read a lot about gender till now. I'm skipping this first part, but the idea here is that we are living in a patriarchal society where we know that women are not getting their fair due share. So do you think that there should be politics of women representation or politics of women rights? होना चाहिए, नहीं होना चाहिए? There should be more politicians right asking for women rights. तो ये जो सोशल डिवीजन है, सोशल डिवीजन ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल, this the politics of this social division should happen or not, and what will be its impact, positive or negative? Mostly positive, right? Women will get their rights because women are very poorly represented in Indian parliament. We are even worse than Saudi Arabia. सब अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज, अरब स्टेट्स भी हमारे से ज्यादा आगे हैं in the number of women in their national parliament. It's the same for us. So gender division is an example that some form of social division needs to be expressed in politics. Gender division एक example है जहां politics में social division की बात होनी चाहिए. This shows that this disadvantaged group do benefit when social division become a political issue. Now people have started talking about women rights. So अगर पॉलिटिक्स हो वुमेन और जेंडर इश्यूज का तो ये अच्छा है. नाउ रिलीजन, कम्युनलिज्म एंड पॉलिटिक्स. वन ऑफ द मेजर सोशल डिवीजन इज रिलीजियस डिफरेंसेस. गांधी जी क्या कहते हैं? Gandhi used to say that religion can never be separated from politics. What he meant by religion was not particular religion like Hinduism or Islam, but moral values that inform all religions. He believed that politics must be guided by ethics drawn from religion. गांधी जी का स्टेटमेंट बहुत ही अलग है इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट से. He is saying that a religion should be a guide for politics. Now, this religion is not like worshipping Ramji or worshipping Allah. This religion is the ethical moral values of the religion. So, as per Gandhi, all the religions have some ethical moral values, and those ethical moral values should guide the politics. Then, human rights groups in our country argued that most of the victims of communal rights in our country are people from religious minorities. जितने भी कम्युनल राइट्स होते हैं मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम रिलीजियस माइनॉरिटीज जो होते हैं वही इम्पैक्टेड होते हैं. वुमेन मूवमेंट्स कहता है कि irrespective of religion, all the family laws of all the religions are discriminating against women, whether it is Hindus or Muslims or any other religion. अब एक बार कम्युनलिज्म को समझते हैं. ये टर्म क्या है, बहुत ही अच्छे से दिया है इस चैप्टर में, एंड यू शुड रीड दिस ट्वाइस थ्राइस, ट्राई टू मेक नोट्स. देखो, religion in itself is not a problem. Politics of religion is also not a problem. The problem is then we started seeing religion as the basis of the nation. As in the case of Ireland, as in the case when some people started talking that Hinduism should be the religion of India or Islam should be the religion of Pakistan. जब आप रिलीजन को नेशन का बेस बनाने लगते हैं तो प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट होता है. And this problem becomes more acute when religion is expressed in politics in exclusive and partisan terms. When the follower of one religion are stand against or forced to stand against the followers of other religion, हिंदुइज्म के फॉलोअर्स को इस्लाम के अगेंस्ट खड़ा कर दिए, पार्टीशन टर्म्स में बात कर रहे हैं. When the beliefs of one religion are represented as superior to those of other religions. So, अभी तक हो क्लास में या चले गए? क्या नाम है? शरत. शरत ने एक पोस्ट लिखा, बहुत ही मजेदार. कल I don't know, he has written that or he has copied from somewhere. He wrote that he wrote about the hijab issue and he said कि Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, Hinduism नहीं, Sanatan Dharma. I don't know what is Sanatan Dharma by the way. So he wrote कि the Sanatan Dharma, and I don't blame him. I also used to write like that. तो उसने कहा कि सनातन धर्म अच्छा है क्योंकि सनातन धर्म में औरतें साड़ी पहनती हैं और चूंकि इस्लाम में वो हिजाब पहनते, तो हिजाब क्या था शरत, थोड़ा तुम ही बताओ अपना अपना ओपिनियन एक बार इन योर ओन वर्ड्स. या अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
So actually, what I personally feel is we are blocking the sunlight. Like we are not allowing the sunlight to fall on the body when you are covering the body. Actually, and I feel that covering the body is not a good sign of women empowerment. Like women should be ever like enough dare to face if anyone mistreats or look her with an evil eye. Covering body is not a very correct sign just by keeping keeping that one point in the mind. Like this is what I feel, sir. It is
And
generally.
what was your opinion about sari?
Sorry, yes, sir. Actually, it is just my analysis. I did not take any from anywhere. Generally, mother's womb is there. Like it requires enough amount of vitamins, sir. Generally, in Sanatana Dharma, a married woman wears a sari. So when waste is exposed to the sunlight, right? So when sunlight falls there, cholesterol will be converted into vitamins. Womb requires enough vitamins for a baby, like a healthy baby. It requires some enough amount of vitamins. So this is the reason. This is one of the reason which I mentioned. There are many other reasons also, but with relevant to the topic, this is most important reason that I have mentioned. So just I mentioned that sunlight is really very important. I think you also know that, isn't it? Blocking the sunlight is not a good sign, good for health, sir. So I felt we have to explain it even scientifically also. I did not tell that we should not allow them. It's their choice, and they have right to wear. When like if you are speaking in the point of view of educational institutions, it should match with the dress code of educational institution and should not represent any religion. This is what I felt again. But it should people should we should educate people properly by mentioning that blocking sunlight is not a good sign for health. That's it. What I felt. Isn't it correct, sir? What do you feel?
Anybody? Any comment?
They should have choice. No one should forcefully tell anything. You should not do this. You should not. They should have choice
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's their right.
Got you right. Yeah. Anyone
Yeah.
else wanna respond? Okay. अल्ताफ कुछ कहना चाह रहे हो? You can unmute yourself. I think I see many of. Okay. So, first about the sunlight issue. I literally had a great laugh on that. Like sunlight. This shows that how ignorant you are about India. If you have read a little bit of history, majority of the people in India, if you Gandhi came to Champaran, Gandhi came to Champaran during Champaran Satyagraha. He was going to people's houses and he realized that women used to have only one piece of cloth, not a proper sari, only one piece of cloth, धोती, साड़ी नहीं, धोती, धोती समझते हो? धोती समझते होगे? तो साड़ी नहीं होता, थोड़ा मोटा कपड़े का बना हुआ धोती होता था और एक ही पीस का होता था. So they will wear that, and when they will take bath, they will wash that and wait for that one piece of cloth to dry, and then they will wear the same. That's the economic history of India. And that's not one people. That's the story of majority of the people. So those who are saying ना कि ये साड़ी पहनते थे और ये हमारा सनातन धर्म है, भाई साड़ी था ही नहीं तो आप पहनते क्या थे? कौन सी किताब में लिखा है कि साड़ी पहनते थे? Something which was not even there, which was not accessible to majority of the people. There was no choice. There was no choice to wear a cloth. That was the one cloth which was available. When you forget about the geography, when you forget about the history, when you forget about the economy, and you let religion guide your ideas, you tend to make these mistakes. Whatever is written in a book, you think, हाँ यही होता होगा. ऐसा नहीं होता था, हो ही नहीं सकता था. It's not possible. About dresses. हाँ शरद, अनम्यूट करो खुद को, रेज योर हैंड. बोलो.
Sir, maybe India is poor when British arrived in India and looted, but I think we are enough rich to wear dresses before the British arrived. Actually, it's not mentioned anywhere what I have told. It is my own analysis,
Yeah, it's your own analysis,
but it's
and it's
okay,
not.
whatever it is. But don't you feel it's correct, sir? Anyway, it's in
No,
biological point of view. Whatever I said is correct, right?
no, no.
Mothers whom required enough vitamins, it is required, sir. You can ask if any like biology like any doctor or someone, you can ask them.
It's not
I
that
was just
mother.
look into the biological or scientific perspective of that. No, I did not actually clearly mentioned before only in that post. Do not see anything in religious point of view, and just once try to look it into the scientific point of view.
Sunlight.
And while writing also, I did not mention any word hijab also. I mentioned the word scarf because I don't want to deal it within a religious perspective, sir.
What's your opinion about ghungat?
Means
Well, that Hindu woman's down. That should be there. They should not be there. It's a very ancient Indian practice. घूंघट समझते हो? नहीं समझते हो? घूंघट निकालते हैं ना, साड़ी से ऐसा चेहरा ढकते हैं. What should be done with that? Is it scientific or unscientific?
not allowing the sunlight to fall on the body is not scientific.
Unscientific, right? So
It depends.
now on, I want you to post today this कि ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए. It's unscientific. Will you post this?
It is not like a strict thing to wear, sir. I guess.
No, so but scientifically it's bad ना. ये तो post कर सकते हैं. Scientifically it's bad. Forget about religion, but scientifically it's bad, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Like not allowing the sunlight is a wrong thing. What is I feel.
So this can be posted, right?
But it's not like they don't cover it like a completely. I think.
But no. अरे बहुत खतरनाक होता है. You have not seen the culture. 6 महीने तक रखना पड़ता है कई जगह पे. पूरा एकदम दिखना नहीं चाहिए चेहरा.
It's like they wear it in the marriages time. I don't
No,
know
no, no.
well about
See,
it.
it's because you don't know, because you have not seen. So before making
Because in our
opinions,
area, like this side, I haven't observed any such people.
hmm. So anyway, the idea here is why I bring it up here is science is a very different thing and religion is a very different thing. Science has very little to do with religion, and religion has very little to do with science. People are good at scientific interpretation of things. Anything can be proven scientific later, जब आ जाए तो. खैर, we will discuss about this. There is a very good article if anybody wants to read. I always mention this. There is a very good article by Yuval Noah Harari, the 21 lessons for 21st century. उसमें एक चैप्टर है रिलीजन. उसको पढ़ना. ऊपर कहीं थोड़ा भाई 2-4 पैराग्राफ ही पढ़ोगे तो समझ में आ जाएगा कि what religion does and what science does, and how does mixing of the two leads. Like, why do you need? If I believe in God, I believe in God. Then there is no scope of science there because I believe in God. उसको scientific explanation नहीं चाहिए. If you need any explanation, that means you do not believe truly. You do not have faith in your God. Religion is about faith. Religion is not about inquiring. Science is about inquiry. In science, you do not have any faith. Einstein भी गलत हो सकता है. So do not mix the two. Yes, we need sunlight, बट सनलाइट के लिए ऐसा नहीं कि सनातन धर्म साड़ी पहनने के लिए बोलता है. सनातन धर्म हैज नथिंग टू डू विद साइंस. Sanatan Dharma is a very different kind of thing, and it says a lot of things which doesn't make any sense today. You read Manusmriti, I think in history, oh, you have not done history with me, oh, that's so bad. इसीलिए तुम ऐसा पोस्ट लिख रहे हो. So in Manusmriti suggests that the men's semen should not be wasted. It should be used only for the purpose of reproduction. So basically, man and women should have sex only when they want to reproduce. Other than that, they should never do involve in any sexual intercourse. होमोसेक्सुअल तो फिर वहां पे एकदम ही बैंड हो जाता है. होमोसेक्सुअल तो आप सोच भी नहीं सकते, बिकॉज देयर इज नो स्कोप ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन. एंड देन देयर आर डिटेल्ड पनिशमेंट्स कि इफ यू विल डू दिस, ऐसा 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 तुम्हारे साथ होगा. आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ अस विल बी पनिश्ड वेरी सेवरली. अभी तो ह्यूमैनिटी खत्म ही हो गया और अगर मनुस्मृति फॉलो कर रहे होते तो. बट laws are made for the sake of laws. It's good that nobody follows them literally. नहीं तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. ऐसे सनातन धर्म नहीं है तो फिर क्या है? शरद है सेइंग सनातन धर्म इज नॉट अ धर्म. तो क्या है फिर? हाँ बताओ.
The religion is different, dharma is different. Religion means keeping some bounds, and it's just believing that. Dharma means performing duties. Like there is nothing called we should believe this only, we should believe that only in Sanatana. Like we can keep on exploring. Like rishis explored themselves and written many things. This is Sanatana Dharma. Religion means it won't change any time. But no, nothing can be added to the religion. But in Sanatana Dharma is not a religion. In India, the concept of religion is different, sir. Like we take Diksha and some other things. Like religion is kept to people, uh, like to make people follow some good things and like that. But it has some intention to do. But in India, it is different. Like if you want to attain some good qualities, people follow like they take Hanuman Diksha or some other Diksha. Like it is also a scientific way. In psychology, we tell like that if you follow heartfully something for 41 days or 21 days, there is some certain period. If we follow that heartfully, we follow it for the lifelong. Like
You are in
which
which
has
class, Sharath?
12th standard. Sorry, first BTech first year, sir.
BTech first year. Yeah, you are exactly following the right YouTube channels that I used to follow when I was in first year. So if you have met me in my first year, I would have been talking like this, you only. So I don't have any grudge against you. I understand I know which channels you are following and from where you are getting your ideas. But don't worry. I just have one simple question and then we will move back to our studies. And I know that slowly you will come to, because you are exploring the things, तो तुम सीख जाओगे, तुमको पता चल जाएगा कि क्या है. इसमें कोई वो नहीं है. वो एक ग्रेजुअल पाथ है. सब कोई वहां से होके ही गुजरते हैं. इट्स गुड दैट यू आर ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लोर दीज क्वेश्चंस. यू आर सेइंग कि सनातन धर्म गिव a lot of opportunities to explore things. There is nothing constant there. You can learn and explore and
I mean, like it's not like believing something.
एक मिनट हो गया एक मिनट मैं पूछता हूँ फिर बताना. What's the meaning of Sanatan? As far as I understand, Sanatan means constant, which is coming from generations. How is the word like दोनों में बहुत कॉन्ट्रास्ट नहीं दिख रहा है जो तुम कह रहे हो. सनातन, which is not ending, which has been constant since time immemorial. And Sanatan means which is constantly changing. Actually, you read any religion, not just Hinduism, all religion says the same thing. Christianity has thrown away all its old books. Now no Christian talks about Old Testament. कोई नहीं पूछता ओल्ड टेस्टामेंट में क्या लिखा है, सब न्यू टेस्टामेंट. Islam, go to talk to a Muslim in USA. Nobody is praying, doing 5 time namaz, and nobody is giving 10% of their income in zakat. 10% बहुत होता है. Nobody is doing that. And they are also using all the Rafale jet, and they are also sending moons to the rocket. Sorry, rocket to or satellites to the moon. Every religion says कि we are changing. ये तुम जो हमको ये सिखाया था कि हम exclusive हैं. We are something. There's something that only we do and nobody else does. This happens because we do not read that much. We do not explore things. Problem इसमें नहीं है कि हाँ ये अच्छा है. And it's always good to have a, a sense of pride in what you are. But the problem is when you start thinking yourself as superior, that something that I do is not done by anyone else. But actually, you look around the world, everybody does the same thing. And that's, I think that's the one thing, that theme that I constantly come across in all the classes, that there's no exclusivity in any religion. Everybody's core values are same. Even the books talks the same language, because the method in which a religion is created is same. You think of yourself as a follower, I think of myself as a leader. You think of trying to defend your religion, I try to create a religion. And when I started looking that how a religion is created, the foundation of all the religions are same. उनका जो चूना मिट्टी मसाला है ना, वो सबका सब एक ही आता है सब रिलीजन का. But to be able to generate that larger perspective, you should not just listen to what you are listening, you should reflect back upon those, that how true it is. Is it really true? Always have this critical approach. Whatever you are following, not even, it's not just about me. मैं भी जो कह रहा हूँ, and I like your attitude. Whatever you are listening to, always have this critical like when I used to listen in my initial days, when I used to started when I started following Subramaniam Swami, I was like blown away. भाई क्या आदमी है, कितना जानता है, हार्वर्ड से आया है, इकोनॉमिस्ट एंड ये एंड वन, so knows so much about religion. And I was like, oh, कुछ नहीं है. There's nothing there. He's a good orator. He knows a lot of things, but his talks do not make any sense. On larger analysis, they're just rhetorics. They appeal to a certain section of people. They appeal to the masses. In that sense, it's very good. He's very manipulative and he can lead. Like I told you, मैं follower की तरह नहीं चलता. मैं सोचता हूँ बनाया वो कर क्या रहा है. Or in that terms, I appreciate him. He's able to manipulate a lot of people with whatever he is saying. He knows he has that way of articulation. In whatever you are reading, be critical. And one of the best way to be critical is to question that thing. Is it really true? Is it true in all situations? चलो ठीक है, इस पे और बात करेंगे. बट आते हैं वापस अपने चैप्टर्स पे. सनातन, सब सनातन है. इस्लाम भी कहता है अपने आप को कि वो भी सनातन है, और क्रिश्चियनिटी भी कहता है कि वो भी सनातन है. कोई नहीं कहता है कि हम नए हैं. Everybody wants to be the oldest one. What's my opinion on hijab? भाई मैं तो न्यूडिस्ट हूँ. मुझे अगर कोई कहे कि नंगे सबको रहना है तो आई बिलीव इन दैट. लेकिन हो नहीं सकता है तो छोड़ो उस बात को. आएंगे, वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट हिजाब आल्सो एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. लेकिन हाँ, बात करते हैं कम्युनिज्म की. So how does communism spread? When people are given this belief that one religion, beliefs of one religion are represented as superior to those of other religion. जो अभी करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे शरत, कि मेरा रिलीजन जो बोलता है उसमें बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें हैं, दूसरे रिलीजन में ऐसी बात नहीं है. बट यू गो एंड रीड any spiritual text, they are 99% same. So when the demands of one religious group are formed in opposition to another, और दूसरा क्या काम करते हैं कि डिमांड ऑफ वन रिलीजियस ग्रुप आर फॉर्म्ड इन अपोजिशन टू द अनदर. जनरली क्या होता है, what is being projected that if Muslims will get job, Hindus will not get that job because Muslims are, अभी क्या इकोनॉमिक बाइकआउट ऑफ मुस्लिम्स, इनको दुकान मत चलाने दो, इनको शॉप मत चलाने दो, इनको वेंडिंग मत करने दो. Why? Because a group of people are saying that your demands are different than their demands. What they need is not what you need, and what you need is not what they need. So you need, but essentially all of you need economic prosperity, all of you need jobs. लेकिन दिखाया ये जाता है कि तुम्हारी जो नीड्स हैं, it is against the needs of the other community. Demands of one religious groups are formed in opposition to the other, and the state power is used to establish the domination of one religious group over other. This is called communalization of politics. Communal politics is based on the idea that religion is the principal basis of social community. बहुत important line है. Those who believe in communal politics, not just in India, anywhere in the world, they believe that सोशल कम्युनिटी का जो बेसिक रूल है वो रिलीजन है, बेसिक फाउंडेशन रिलीजन है. द फॉलोअर्स ऑफ पार्टिकुलर रिलीजन मस्ट बिलोंग टू, अच्छा चलो ये बहुत अच्छा, इसको खत्म कर लेते हैं, 5 बजने वाला. आई डिडंट नोटिस्ड हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर स्टिल हियर. 29. मान हो तुम लोग भी. ठीक है, कल नेक्स्ट क्लास में कल आके कम्युनलिज्म करते हैं. ठीक है, चलो छुट्टी देता, तुम लोगों को बहुत हो गया. आई होप यू लर्न अ फ्यू थिंग्स. कैसा था क्लास? ठीक ठाक कुछ लगा? आई होप यू आर स्टिल हियर, सो यू मस्ट बी लर्निंग अ फ्यू थिंग्स. जयेश कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हो?
Yes, sir. Sir, yeah, what is the means? UK consists of 4 countries and Great Britain consists of 3 countries. Then why they are called Great Britain and UK? If they consist of 4 countries, they should be called as UK. Why another term Britain is needed, and why there are 3 countries for that?
देखो ये इसमें क्या इशू है, मैप निकाल के दिखा देता हूँ. ठीक है, वेट करें. देखो ये है पूरा यूके. यहाँ पे ये अच्छा है, ये मैप अच्छा नहीं है, ये वाला मैप देखो. सो दिस इज इंग्लैंड, दिस इज वेल्स, दिस इज स्कॉटलैंड एंड दिस इज नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड. ये पूरा मिलके यूके बनता है. अगर जब हम ये आइलैंड को नहीं काउंट करते हैं, ये जो जब सिर्फ मेन लैंड की बात करते हैं, तो इसको बोलते हैं ब्रिटेन. ठीक है, ये क्योंकि आयरलैंड इससे कटा हुआ है तो इसको बोलते हैं ब्रिटेन. तो जब कहते हैं कि ब्रिटिश केम टू इंडिया, दैट मीन्स कि पीपल ऑफ दीज 3 कंट्रीज केम टू इंडिया. और जब सिर्फ इंग्लैंड बोलते हैं तो वी टॉक अबाउट दिस विच वेयर द कैपिटल लंदन इज. तो जब बोलते हैं कि लंदन से कोई आया तो लंदन इज द कैपिटल ऑफ इंग्लैंड, तो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस वन पार्टिकुलर रीजन. ठीक है, क्लियर है रेस? चलो कल की क्लास में मिलते हैं। बहुत देर हो गया शरत डिस्कशन। सीखो, अभी बहुत सीखना है। अच्छा है, लर्न करो। आई डोंट वांट टू ascertain माई सुपेरियरिटी कि मैं तुमसे बहुत ज्यादा जानता हूँ, तुम नहीं जानते हो। सीखोगे, एक लर्निंग कर्व होता है। कल कल